the American ambassador, Meg Whitman, the British Chargé, and the Danish ambassador, as well as the representative of the United Nations community in Nairobi, and in fact at UN offices, the very high-ranking, came over to my residence, and we agreed we will not at this stage address the media. Of course, they're all very concerned, not just them as ambassadors, but the international community. The story of peaceful demonstrations turned violent by the police have received international visibility. On CNN, I personally watched some of these presentations, on BBC, on Al Jazeera. We hope, by the way, to be able to meet with the some of these international correspondents in the next few days. And so everybody is concerned. And so, Steve, I hope I've answered your question, but we are saying, what sense does it make to meet with people who are already committing acts of genocide? I was foreign minister in 1994 when genocide happened in our sisterly state of Rwanda. We pray to God that this does not happen to our country. So it behoves all of us to take note of what is going on here. We also thank the African Union, the AU Commission on Human and People's Rights for their statement. How do you tear gas 53 children and make them develop early cases of asthma and other complications? These are basic rights, and you cannot negotiate on people's basic rights. Basic rights are basic human rights. And so that is where we are. I don't know if there's another question. Thank you.
You had last week said that you were taking 3 days of protest because the people had asked for it because of the high cost of living. So what now has changed to go back to 1 day in a week?
No, you must always take into consideration the reality of the situation on the ground. We realize that after day one on Wednesday, a lot of people were arrested, others were injured, and people had to run all of our hospitals and places to check on their loved ones. So we therefore have reached the conclusion, peaceful, and we stress, by the way, peaceful and armed demonstrations. We call on our people to remain vigilant on that core. However much you feel provoked, don't harm any policeman. Leave it to them to harm you. The world is watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Inoro.
Yes. Inoro can do.
Gwiciria umuthi ni thiko ya kana muthi niguo muthenya wa mbere kuma thiko iria ithatu cianĩrĩirwo cia maandamano na maandamano macio twetirie maandamano ma thayo na tutegire ni tugathie na mĩcinga twaugire ithuĩ no ithuĩ tugathie tururungane tuge andũ itũ mahinyĩrĩrĩka nao magĩtwĩra nao magatũtũnga na mĩcinga ithuĩ tukiuga
Naogopa Subaru sana. Iko shida. Subaru is not a very good model.
They're spoiling a very good model of a car. Where is Zoiria?
Ako hapo.
Okay. Are we set? A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We are pleased to welcome you to this center and begin by giving apologies of two of our co-principals, three actually.
Yes.
The Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Sister Martha Karua, and Wycliffe Ombetsa Oparanya, as well as Jakoya. In fact, we understand Wajakoya's home was raided, but he's out there in Western Kenya. So we will have a statement read by Governor Mwangi wa Iria, and if there be any questions, we'll take them. I'll be very pleased to take them. But thank you for coming.
Thank you. And this is our joint statement. Genocide underway in Kenya.
You need to shout.
Genocide underway in Kenya. We meet here under very sad and traumatizing circumstances. A state-sanctioned genocide is underway in Luoland, particularly in Kisumu, Migori, and Homa Bay. A similar atrocity is also underway in parts of Nairobi, including Kibra and Mathare. In Kisumu, people are being pulled out of their houses and shot or crowbarred to death by police officers. In Migori and parts of Homa Bay, police are going into villages away from towns and shooting or crowbarring people to death. All the elements of the making of a genocide are present in the developments in Luoland. Victims are being dehumanized. There is organization. The attacks taking place are clearly planned. The people undertaking the destruction of the rules are clearly trained, whether they are police officers or goons. They are under a command structure and they are well resourced with arms they need. There is stigmatization and polarization accompanied by propaganda that the community is behind the nationwide protests. There is preparation, with perpetrators knowing when to attack, which area, and they are using what appears to be the adopted slogan of dealing with Luo once and for all. Very similar to Hitler's so-called final solution. The attackers are working hard to create fear in the community by parading armies, equipment, and weapons. Victims are identified because of their ethnicity. They are segregated into ghettos. They are being starved and their property destroyed or scattered away. Murders are taking place in ways that are deliberate and systematic campaign of violence. This crackdown has been concentrated in slums and other low-income areas of the county where the so-called hustlers, in whose name the interests the Kenya Kwanza regime claims to govern. We condemn the unacceptable and illegal massacre of the Luo community, whose only crime is to participate alongside other Kenyans in protests against Kenya Kwanza policies. We condemn and demand an immediate aid to the traumatization and profiling of the Luo community, particularly the children who are being made to pay a price they do not understand. The genocide underway in Luoland is not accidental. It is coordinated and premeditated. It is being coordinated by political and government leaders, both from the community and outside, But it is not just in Nyanza. In Mathare and Kibla in Nairobi, citizens were traumatized and tear gas canisters lobbed in their houses. A father who confronted police for hurling tear gas into his house, causing his child to faint, was manhandled and bundled into the police lorry like a criminal. His whereabouts remain unknown. Several people were shot dead at Cross Ridge by non-uniformed and uniformed police in Nairobi, Nakuru, Mlolongo, and Makueni by police mainly in plain clothes, shot and killed citizens, a majority of whom were going about their daily business, and others lied at their places of work. Similar executions have occurred in Kisii,